magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. Glad to have all you here in the building. I'm gonna be real with y'all. We were going to do the interview tonight because I thought RHOP was taking a break because everybody was ready for the reunion, but Karen Huger had basically a full hour to say what was on her mind, and shout out to the content creators for helping me because I saw your notifications. I'm like, all right, we gotta make it do what it do rather. So let's get to it because there was a lot said in this sit down with Andy Cohen. So let's get to it. Higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we gotta go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have all of you here. And my Lord Jesus, this was an episode for sure. So, to my thorough notes, let's get to it. So, it starts off with the footage, right? The footage we all saw, the camera footage, the body cam footage, right? And then we see Karen Sensed for 1 year. Then they recap the season. And I have to tell you, within the recap, I really felt the heaviness of like, oh my God, it really has been culminating to this. Now, for those of you who don't know, Karen Huger got out of jail a lot earlier than she was supposed to. With good behavior, you can, cut down your time. Hey, Yolanda Cameron, good to see you, beautiful. Glad to be here. Good to see you. And I hope all is well with you. Hopefully you're staying warm. Right now it is 21 degrees outside, so I am happy for that. And yes, indeed, I'm glad to be here. It's good to see you, my friend, as always. Like I said, with the recap, had it not been for Karen getting out of jail, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I don't think people would tune into the season. Not as much as they did. Now, that's not to say that this wasn't a bad season, because the season, it did give what it needed to give. But in the same token, people love Karen. The way they hate Giselle, flip that over, and that's how they love Karen Huger. Sincerely. Yes, good to see you, my friend. And by the way, we are so close to a very, very big goal on this channel, and y'all will know about it because we're gonna have the biggest party for it. Okay, so we're almost there. Just like what, 400 views away, but we'll get there. But yeah, so like I said, if it had not been for Karen Huger getting out of jail, I don't think people would have tuned in to the season as heavy as they did. Because like I said, she was supposed to be out 1 year later, right? But with good behavior, of course, you can reduce your sentence, right? Now, I will say this. I think that, with everything that's going on right now in the world of Bravo, I think a Karen Huger return is more than welcomed compared to everything else, because that standing ovation she got at BravoCon, okay? Giselle would never get a standing ovation at BravoCon. Believe you me, okay? I would get a standing ovation at BravoCon, and nobody knows who the hell I am. And I say that with respect to myself and the other content creators that are bigger than me in the Bravo world. I mean, hell, Captain Venus, who covers Married to Medicine, will get a bigger standing ovation than Giselle. Okay? Good Lord Jesus. Moving on. Oh, shout out to Captain Venus. Love you very much, my sister. Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, September 2nd, 2025, Karen is out of jail. So it's Bridget, Karen's sister, Ray, her husband, and Raven, her daughter. And Karen came out that jail like it was Set It Off 50s edition. I say that with so much love, grace, and space. I really, really do. She had the jailhouse braids. I'm like, it's giving me the energy of that Dave Chappelle skit of Wayne Brady. Does Wayne Brady have to choke a bitch? I felt like... Hello, my name is Karen Huger. Now, who's the bitch we're going to fuck up today? I really do feel like Karen will ride out for hers. I really, really do. We ride at dawn, motherfuckers. Anyway, so all that being said, she gets in the house, very warm reception. So the ladies in the jail took their hair out and put their hair on Karen, which, I thought that was very sweet. Now, of course, what's not normal to us is normal in other circumstances, right? So Karen did roll down the window and say hi, but she was ready to come home. Raven is getting so much love. And Karen said to Raven, I'm so proud of the woman that you are becoming and that you have become. I hated that you saw me in that state, but there's a lot of strength with that. And Bridget, her sister, stepped in and made it do what it do. And Raymond, I save you for later. I'm like, oh, okay, Karen, all right now. Listen, look, Karen's about to be the Glock 3000 tonight, ain't she? Yo, listen, she did say I'll save you for later. That's what she said, okay? I'm just filling in the blanks. So they got to re-know each other through the glass window, and Karen said that Ray was the only husband that talked about politics. And Ray said, well, you asked. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like, if I was ever in that situation and you asking me about entertainment news, okay, I'll tell you entertainment news. I'll tell you what you need to know, but you ain't going to blame me. Well, that was the only thing I talked about when you asked me what you wanted to know, right? So I'm just keeping it a buck. So Karen found a purpose, and she talked to some of the young ones of, it took me 60 years to get here. Why are you here? And Karen said, I got to get this jail off me. And she was good with the cameras. And I'll just say this, for going through what she went through, right? To be that open, honest, and candid with her first time coming home in front of the world, that was a lot. And I feel her, like, and with the, I need to get this jail off me, I don't believe that she meant that in a mean fashion. If anybody tries to, pop the helium in that balloon, I think she just meant that she needs to get this experience off of her. She's ready to settle in to her home. So after that, 1 week later, shout out to SpongeBob, I see a Cadillac lyric come through. I'm like, okay, then Andy Cohen and Bravo, NBC Universal talk about brand placement. I'm sure that was not Andy's personal vehicle. You know what I mean? But good for Andy. So Andy Cohen comes through September 9th, and Ray and Andy talk. And, Ray is excited to have Karen home. And, it was a good exchange. I think this might be the first time. And to all the Bravo, fans out there, the Bravo universe, the Bravo entity that y'all are, let me know if I'm off, but I believe this is the first time that Andy Cohen has went to someone's home in the Bravo universe, right? So after all that, Karen and Andy, they hug, and Karen got Andy Cohen's note. The ladies in the jail didn't believe that it could be from Andy Cohen, but he sprayed it with Ladon perfume, and so they scanned the note to make sure that it was all good. So we see Brandon, Karen's son, and we see David, Karen's cousin. And Andy's like, so why aren't you around? I'm like, Andy, some people like the anonymity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. If I was a family member of any one of these housewives, listen, I'm good. You know, I'll come through when it's necessary to support you. But other than that, this is your assignment. This is your assignment. Shout out to Looney Tunes. But yeah, that's how I would be. And honestly, if I had a wife that wanted to go on this show, I'm like, listen, personally, you're a queen. Deal with princesses that will do anything for attention. You're a queen that does things for a purpose. I don't want you to do it, but who am I to tell you what to do? Because I open up my mouth every damn day and say what I believe needs to be said. But here's the gag, though. I'm electing to do this. Okay, there's a difference. My wife has elected herself to be with a group that can always turn turn against her. No. So after all that, Brandon had to take over the businesses and finances of Karen Huger, and seeing his mom was tough. And I'm sure, if anybody's mom has ever been in a circumstance where they have had to go to jail or they had a situation happen to their mom, that's going to be heavy on anybody, right? And what I loved about, this opening was you can't get no realer than this, right? It wasn't no sauce added. It wasn't no extraness added to it. It was what it was. And I really appreciate the fact that it was what it was. There was how can I put it? Because I already said sombering. It was a very community based experience of like, okay, us as a community, it's like, whoa, this is one of our own. It's time to, virtually, or through the power of television, go to her house and see what she's up to now. It felt like a friend was coming home. So I like that they kept that energy of it. So Karen was in jail for 6 months, and it was surreal for Karen being in jail. And Karen wanted to be a part of general population because they were trying to separate her. But she was like, no, if I'm in here and God has me in here for a reason, I want to be a part of general population, which that is huge. You know what I mean? And Karen started investing in the young ladies, and all Karen really wanted to do when she came home was hug her babies. And Karen doesn't like the phone anymore. She's not into it as much. And, they go into the living room, Andy and Karen, and Andy asks, how does it feel to be a free woman? And Karen says, I've been through hell and back. And then they start talking about the film, right? So March 19th, 2024, 539 days later, right? We all saw that film. We watched it live right here on Brainley's Virtual Tour Live. And my Lord Jesus, I have never been so taken aback at the power of a video like that video. I mean, my Lord. So Ray and Karen did not watch the film. And the lawyers, or Karen's lawyers, right, were saying, take a plea deal because the video is going to nail you. Now, you would think, okay, well, listen, my lawyers know more than me. Let me do this. But she says that she was still under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and that she kept Ray out of a lot of it. And we talked about that there could have been a house arrest. Apparently that was not true. That she could have, been on house arrest for the 6 months and had ankle monitor on her and just, had to go from here and there with a driver. I will say this when it comes to that, right? I think the plea deal could have had house arrest as an option. I'm not going to put it past this situation that could not have been an option. But I'm taking Karen's word for it, but I just believe that that's a possibility, right? So in rehab, right, Karen and her therapist watched the video, and the therapist said, "You have to watch it." And Karen said she understood the sentence, right? And Andy Cohen said that it was preventable. And then Karen then said, well, it was preventable, but let's not underestimate the power of drugs and alcohol. And this is the thing, right? When she said that, I was like, Karen, I love you, but no, 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 no. Even with the influence of drugs and alcohol, this was still a decision on you, right? That was a conduit for you to display the behavior that you did, but it was still on you, right? And so when it came to the Thomas Jefferson concubine, right, she said that she was nuts. That's what she said. She was nuts and that she blacked out. And she is sober, right? And she does know the weight of that. She is now sober, rather. Sorry, she's now sober. It devastated Raven and her children, and that, it was time to talk about her addiction. Now, here's the gag, okay? 20 years ago, I'm 31. Right, so remove 20 years away from me in my age. I was young when Karen was going through what she was going through, right? And so she had pills to cope with the situation. And when her parents passed away, she doubled the dose. So 20 years ago, her family believed that Karen Huger had a problem. And I've never been an alcoholic nor a drug addict, as y'all know. And I think I might have told y'all the story before. I said because we have a center, right, for recruitment for like the Army and stuff. And, all I said, for the, when they say, do you take drugs? I'm like, well, I get high for life and being honest and being myself. In a joking fashion, of course, right? Because you can't say that you take Coca-Cola to somebody recruiting you for the Army, right? When she said this, right, I can only imagine what it is to be going through something and you're just trying to find any way to just have your mind be at rest, right? Shout out to the 10 people that came through, like, comment, share, subscribe, glad to have you here. Or thank you for coming through, rather. It's difficult to try to have your mind at rest when you don't know what to pull, right, for your mind to be at rest. Because there are things in moderation, but when the pain is so mentally taxing, physically taxing, or whatever energy you feel from that pain is agonizing you, you want to drown it out to use Cardi B's words, to the stack, to the bottom, to the gutter, right? You don't want to feel nothing. So I do give love, grace, and space for that, right? Karen Huger said that she can't say which one, right? But it was an antidepressant. And she can't say which one because Karen can be sued, right? So maybe there might be some more legal stuff that we don't know about. And then, Karen then says that, it wasn't so much the drink, it was the drugs. It wasn't the drink. But then Karen says the drink and drugs called me. And Andy Cohen, he clocked that tea. He said, and I quote, "You're talking about alcoholism, but you saying it wasn't the drink." And I was right there with Andy Cohen. I'm just like, once again, Karen, I love you. I really do. But if your family said 20 years ago that you had a problem and you didn't want to talk about it then, and this ends up happening with everything that happened in between of that, no, that's alcoholism. You can't just cop to the drink. But I love how Andy phrased it, right? Because he wasn't talking at her, he was speaking with her of, hey, listen, I love you, I care about you, you're great people, but like 1 plus 1 is not equaling 2 here, right? So Karen said that she was running from home and that she wasn't happy there. Ray and Karen were going through what they were going through. The kids, are grown, and the house was a tomb. If you know anything about an Egyptian tomb, it is a place where spirit goes to rest. A tomb is basically the Egyptian version of a casket. And to black translate that, a house is not a home, to use Luther Vandross's words. Big Luther, not little Luther, in the words of my mama. So, thank God she didn't delete a person. And Andy Cohen says it was 4 times that there was DUIs. Karen said no, it was 4 incidents. 2 of them were DUIs, and the oldest was 20 years ago, right? And when it came to the sentencing, Karen was shocked by the severity of it, right? She said, I would think 1 month, maybe 3, but not a whole year. But then you also got to go back to what Karen said in the beginning of this, when she said that she understood the sentence, right? So, I mean, that behavior was not going to get you 1 to 3 months. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going to give it a buck with you. Who are you? So she was released much earlier rather than just 1 year later. And Karen asked, how could I volunteer? And so she did what she needed to do to get her time down. And she led the NA class and the AA class. So NA is Narcotics Anonymous, and then AA is Alcohol Anonymous. And Andy was on point. I put this in my notes. Andy was on point of, so how could you teach when you were still in recovery? And she said that when she got treatment before going to jail. Now, I'm going to be real with you, with Karen Huger on this. If she wanted to teach from the perspective of, I've, been down some roads and I've been around and, I got 60 years on this car right here of my life, then cool. But just because you go to treatment doesn't mean you know everything, because you can still relapse, right? And I'm giving a lot of love, grace, and space in this review because it was as sobering as you are hearing me tell you guys, right? So I was I connected with Andy on that. Ray and Karen worked on their marriage, and in the healing of Karen Huger, she emotionally stopped growing at 19 years old, and she had an SA. So you think from 19 years old to 60. I mean, Karen is finally living, right? And I know that in the society we live in today, that when someone comes out with allegations, right, we instantly believe them, right? Because we don't know their pain. He or she who has a sin cast the first stone. But within that, he or she who has a sin cast the first stone, we also tend to forget the magnitude, the weight, the intensity of the pain that we don't see. Because see, whenever somebody brings their pain to us in the living room, they've been in their room for a long time, crying, hooping, hollering, cussing, throwing stuff before they get out to the living room of the culture and be like, okay, so got something to talk to y'all about. I don't know how to go about this. And then, of course, as we all know, in today's society, you got delusional, reckless, and dilapidated people like P. Diddy and Milagro Grahams abusing and bullying other people, which makes you feel that you don't want to come out and share your story. So, Karen Huger, sorry for that SA. That should not have happened to you at 19 years old. So she had to fight for her sobriety. And Andy Cohen said, you're owning the narcotics, but you're not owning the alcohol. And Karen said, let's talk about how hard it was for the therapist to tell Karen that she had an alcohol problem. And that, she has to be responsible for her decisions. And Karen says, I do want to address, do I have a drinking problem? Because that's what Andy Cohen asked. And Karen says, yes, I do have a drinking problem. And I had a drinking problem. And after the accident was the last time she got a drink. So basically, after everything that happened, she still went out and got a drink. Now, Karen, no. Okay, no. But then again, that might have been her coping mechanism. Like, oh my God, just want to do this back. I don't need to feel this shit. So Karen did not say she was a, drinking addict, or she wasn't an alcohol addict, right? She said she was in lifetime recovery. And I do agree that lifetime recovery is good, but you do need to label it. Because how you label something can help you dictate how you need to move about that label, right? So she goes to a group, and there was a statement of sorts from the Washington Post that she promised the judge that she would go to AA for life, but she likes, Narcotics Anonymous because it's more real, it's more raw, it's more honest. But she says, be who you want to be. And so Andy asked what was the outfit color that you wore. And Karen said that the jumpsuit was beige. And Andy said, you're wearing beige tonight. She said, no, this is blush. I'm like, well, Karen's there. Karen is right there. Okay, she's right there. She's here. I'm like, now, listen, we might have to go with Gary. We might have to go to Gary with the T for the cooler of the day. The cooler of the day is, look at that. Anyway, moving on. So Tatiana, Karen's makeup artist, brought her the clothes. And the thing that Karen missed the most was holding her daughter's hand. And I think we all know somebody that we love them down, right? So when you don't have that human connection, when you don't have that occupied space in the filing cabinet of life, if you think about that filing cabinet from Bruce Almighty, where Bruce pulled out the filing cabinet, he got dragged all the way to the other side of the room. If that file is not in your brain, it gets triggering. There's certain things that you need to know, right? That you are at work, right? You know what I mean? So very heavy with that, and felt for Carol on that. So when it came to stripping yourself down, Andy Cohen meant it metaphorically. And Karen said, well, I was in black lace pants in my bra. I'm like, Lord Jesus, Karen, Lord. just Father God, help us all. Like, now, of course, there are some men that they turn the other way because they got no choice but to be turned the other way. And there are some women that turn the other way as well. Hashtag orange is the new black. Okay? And I'm sure that there's somebody in there that was like, damn, can you cut that hair? Shit. So, I'm sure that happened in jail. I'm sure it did. So it kind of took me out when she said it. But I think also, too, we interpret what we hear. But also, too, I think that was a bit of levity of like, Andy, I was in my black lace pants and bras. Like, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. So Andy meant metaphorically, and Karen saw the pepper in her hair, and she's liking it, right? And so when it came to the arrangements, right, Karen had a cell, she had a steel toilet and a sink, and then menstrual cycles. They happen, and so she was like, she went to the person that was in charge of the maxi pads, and she said, "My menstrual cycle is heavy, 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 heavy. I need about 7 of those." And so she lined her throne. It reminded me of when, and some of y'all might remember this, when Whitney Houston and Oprah Winfrey were sitting down at a theater that Whitney Houston, her mom, performed, and she was talking about how you roll it up. And I thought that was one of the funniest moments. I'm like, here is Oprah from the 50s during slavery, and Whitney Houston from the 90s teaching Oprah how to roll up. I'm like, what is this? But that's what it gave me, though, of when Karen said that she was lining, her throne with the maxi pads. That's exactly what I thought of. So then we learned the schedule. 4:30 a.m. is when Karen Huger wakes up, or woke up in jail. Breakfast was at 5 a.m. She loved the discipline, the structure of it. 9:30 a.m. was class. Lunch was astronaut food, crabs and chicken, but it was more crab meat than anything. Workout in the rec area, and Karen Huger did not see any grass for 6 months. 4:30 p.m. was dinner, and 9:45 was the end of the day. So from 4:30 to 9:45, you had to learn to love your circumstances for 6 months. Hashtag heavy, right, of the weight of it all. By the way, there's a great podcast called Under the Weight of It All. I got to catch up on their episodes, but they are two amazing BBWs. And they're making it do what they do. They just got to their first 100 subscribers. So like, comment, share, subscribe to Under the Weight of It All. Shout out to them. So with that being said, the first night, Karen Huger was crying, and she said, "Lord, I am scared." And I think it's a very humbling and a very at rest feeling to know that somebody who is as grown as Karen Huger is, and as big as Karen Huger is, for her to still feel that she could still cry out to God and to still have those emotions of being like, I don't know what to do. Because we don't really hear that from our elders many times. So then talking about the reunion, Karen says it's always a horse nest, but I'm ready for it. And Karen was in rehab for, during the last reunion. And Andy Cohen said the ladies were measured about their responses about Karen and everything in between. And Karen was watching the clips and everything. And Karen didn't understand the question of, wasn't there somebody else in the car with her? And I think in that body cam footage, that there was the blue eyes guy in there, but they did not air that. At this point, it's a minuscule detail, but a detail nonetheless, right? And so y'all remember Karen Huger was in the picture frame, right? And so Giselle said that the place that she was going to was 4 minutes from her house. And so then Ashley brings up the story about she was on a train and that they start talking. And Karen used to go to Legal Seafood and they drink all the time. And Wendy also says the same thing. And Karen says, well, who would ask Wendy? She lives in Timbuktu. Because, there's this thing of, are you in Potomac or are you not in Potomac, right? So there was no one else in the car. That's what Karen said. And Karen is not upset with anybody for making their own conclusions and jumping to their own conclusions that, I'm good. I'm good. And I'm proud of her for that, because you do have the right to feel away, especially when you're trying to understand your truth. But also, too, even though it is your truth, you have to carry your truth too. So, um, and then of course the clip with Wendy came up of "That's not my friend." Right, that's not my friend. And Karen said that's a conversation for her and Wendy to have, and and that's a friendship that is worth having. And Wendy knows why I did not say her name. Giselle reached out, but the only one and said that thank you, but I'm only seeing family right now. Wendy did not reach out, and whatever needs to happen is once again a conversation for Wendy and Karen to talk about. But Karen is open to talk about it, right? So I'm sure we'll see that on the reunion. And then Andy Cohen says that viewers think that you should not be brought back into this environment. Okay, so we got Phaedra, who lied on Candy Burris. We got Quad, making fun of Sweet Tea for trying to produce a child, and Quad is having a hard time in her fertility journey. Quad and King have broken up, and then you have Teresa Giudice and what she went through, right? Then you got Revenge P, Kenya Moore, Revenge P Moore, right? And many other things. So Jen Shaw. How can we forget Jen Shaw and the thing that she did, right? And she's basically the white Reg Williams, but Reg Williams is out of jail, and she did an interview with Carlos King, and from what I saw in the comment section, it seems like people are really loving British. And as long as you've atoned, you've understood your lesson, and you move forward in that, I think you deserve a second chance within reason. Okay. Just be a good person. Don't know how hard that is to be. Now, I know we all struggle sometimes in some shape, form, or fashion, but what happened to the golden rule of doing unto others as they do unto you? Just like I said, far be it from me to give an opinion, but here we are. So, when Andy asked, said that viewers think you should not be brought back into this environment, Karen said that she doesn't know she does deserve to be back on Bravo, and that she has to earn that. I was very proud, because it wasn't like she was thinking that she was going to come in next season and nothing, and going to pretend that nothing, could ever happen, right? Or it wasn't like she was pretending that she was going to come back and pretend that nothing never happened, right? She was owning it. And so, Karen said that she was grateful to the Bravo family, and that Bravo gets a dirty shake sometimes. And, Andy Cohen asked, do you think the show contributed to, your alcoholism? And Karen said, no, the show actually occupied her, because had she not had the show, it would have been worse. And she doesn't hate it. She doesn't blame it either. The alcohol and drugs was on her. And Karen is better for being on Bravo. And I thought, what a powerful move that was, to recognize that while the platform was the platform, I gave what I gave to the platform. So she understood the dichotomy there. So Karen is better for it. And Ray has a stranger now as a wife. And Ray said, if we decide not to be together, Karen said, if we decide not to be together, she told this to Ray, that he would let her go. And Karen said she's working on it. And Andy said it's moving, but it's also heartbreaking. And I feel him, right? I mean, to make it do what it do, and for what, Giselle said about Ray, this, now, the third. Giselle wishes she could have a man like Ray be that committed to her. Hashtag Giselle, that without a man, to use Karen Huger's words, right? And also, too, sometimes letting somebody go doesn't mean you don't love them, but you love them enough for them to be free. I thought that was a very powerful investment that Ray did not mind making. So Andy said, whenever you're going through sobriety, what is that band-aid? What's the thing that you keep trying to bandage up? And she said that it's SID at 19. Karen says she knew she would make it, but she did not know. She did not know herself as an adult woman, because when you're 19 and you're coming to tell your family they don't believe you, that damage is long lasting, and it can trigger, hurt, and destroy other areas of your life. Andy says, I'm glad that you saw that you were in denial, because it looked like for a long time that you were just out of it. And Karen says, I like the Karen that I know now, and I forgive that Karen. And I love her very much. So Karen's excited to see where Karen will go. And Andy is proud of her as well. And then the phone number for Mental Health Services Administration Helpline comes up at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Andy Cohen, Karen Huger Sit Down, RHOP, Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, Episode 17, Karen Comes Home After Show review. In the preview, it's just the same preview, but I'll give it to you anyway because we are here. Dr. Wendy and Eddie arrested on 16 counts of fraud. Angel said that she had more dip on her chip, and Ashley says, you need to learn to laugh. And you need to learn how to sing, Ashley, but you're never going to do that. So then they talk about Andy says, we never ended the season at a gas station. And Angel tries to comment, and Giselle says, tomato. It's like, you've done some tomato behavior your damn self. You are not clean, Giselle. That's why you have a shady podcast that you're never reasonable on with regular Robin. Which, by the way, did I mention that Juan cheated on Robin with somebody that looked better than her existence? Yeah, that happened. So then, why don't we see Tia's husband? Tia gets emotional. Before that, though, let me flip reverse rewind back. Angel and Sharice, was there more to Sharice's son and Ashley? Of course there was. We all know this. Moving on now to Tia and her husband. Tia gets very emotional. And Jazzy, I don't know if you talked to Jacqueline and Mia, but you have mean girl energy. You really do. And I think also, too, you hanging out with Giselle, Wendy, Stacy, and Giselle, Ashley, Wendy, and Stacy, you hanging out with them has made you a mean girl this season. Yeah. Because Jazzy says that that Keanu stole Greg from his wife. That's an allegation. She got proof. That's all shit. And then Monique has a receipt that it looks like it rocks the reunion. And then Karen comes out and says, let me take you here, Professor. Shut the fuck up. And y'all, that's the preview. Whew, did I cover everything? I really tried to make sure that, and let me put in the Mental Health Services Administration helpline in the live chat now. I really tried my very best with taking my notes of making sure that not only did I get what you guys needed to know, which was everything, but I also delivered it with love, grace, and space, because with these shows, they're growner than I am, right? I'm just 31. I still got a lot of life to live and learn and consume the joy of it. But also, too, I know that some of these areas are not my lane of expertise. So let your mind be present, let your spirit be available, have the soul to be open to what can be. Know what you do and do what you know. It's one thing to call yourself, it's another thing to be chosen, right? So I really wanted to make sure that I rested my soul, my brain, and my thought process of say what needs to be said, but also to motherfucker, you don't know everything. So go off of what's on the screen. Okay, so we'll take a little commercial break, and we'll be back more right after this. We are live on Tour Like, Comment, Share, Subscribe. We'll be back right after. after this. Roll it. One more time, everybody. Roll it.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braille only got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braille only's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braille only's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the whispers in the city's hum. Echoes of stories where we're from. A beat, a step, a voice so clear. The pulse of us, it's all right here. We got soul, we got flavor. Every moment is a savior. Every experience is an overcomer. Turn it up, feel the glow, let the rhythm flow. Spotlight shining, we in the zone. This is the place where the culture's grown. Stories untold, now they're coming alive. Braylon Lee got the vibe tonight. One thing to know and two things for sure. Higher is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon Lee's virtual tour, where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced and more. This show, this brand and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth, we're free. Trust and believe it's entertainment, news done away with. But Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to the people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams. Leave today and enter a world of
Mickey Mouse! A world of princesses. A world of villains. And heroes.
Raise your sabers.
A world of other worlds.
A world of all the favorites. A world of throwbacks. A world of
for whatever you love. Infinite worlds await.
Sweet morning dew, one look at you, and it was plain to see you were my destiny. God, you were found. I come from Memphis. Our son is your son. Welcome to the celebration. We all we got. Don't do that. Don't you leave here to go for happiness. I want you to leave here to show that.
McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
And that's how you do that right there. Welcome back into Brightly's Virtual Tour Live. You love that. You love the camera and our good anthem there. You can listen to that anthem anytime you want to. Anytime. Just go to the videos and click that anthem, and you can play it in your house. You can play it in your car. You can play it at the club. If you play it at the club, people are actually jamming to it. I will actually play it on the show because that's our music. You understand how that works there? And, you know, like I said, our original theme song is Part of the Game by Velveteen, but of course, you can't really share the proceeds and the profits and, you know, the bags with Velveteen because they're not under YouTube Career Music. YouTube, get on that. But with that being said, I want to find a way to honor that because when we make it to television, that will be our theme song. Okay, it will be the theme song I'll come out to. But because we're about to hit a very big goal, as you can see, you know, we've had our new studio for a while, our virtual news studio, by the way. I thought, you know what, we need to upgrade the music. And so I thought, you know, we need a theme song, we need an anthem, we need a rallying cry that, you know, lets people know that if you never watched the channel, but you heard that, you would know everything you need to know about this channel and then some. So I hope it comes across to everybody that listens to that anthem that that's what this channel is about. And I love that anthem. It is a great one. If I do say so myself. But yes, indeed, I hope that this review brought you some hope, brought you some joy, brought you some reflection. It definitely sat with my spirit. You know what I mean? That's why I said when you can feel the weight of an interview, that's how you know it's a really good interview. And I felt that. Not to mention too, you know, interviews back in the day when Barbara Walters did them, they were the defining point of a media story. Like, all right, Barbara Walters is going to sit down with them, and this is it. It's the end of the story. Now I feel like interviews are more of checkpoints in time, right? And then it's up to the culture to decide when, you know, we're at the finish line, right? So I feel like this interview didn't really need to be a Barbara Walters heavy interview. I'm like, so tell me about your childhood. What is a philosophy by which you live? Do you look at glasses the same way again? Like, it didn't need to have that, that Barbara Walters energy, but it did need to have the energy of, okay, Karen, now listen, I love you, you love me, we all one big happy family, but you gonna take some responsibility here. We can only do so much as you give us, you know what I mean? So that's how I truly felt about the interview. I thought it was a great interview for what it was, you know what I mean? And so now we are waiting for the 3-part reunion, and oh, buddy boy, I will be here for every single part of it. We're getting ready to end Potomac, and Married to Medicine should be coming up with their not review, child. That's why I do reviews, but they should be coming up with their reunion here soon. Then of course 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life is coming up, so we'll be bringing that back to you. Yes, indeed, we'll be diving back into the world 90 Day Fiance, child, The Single Life. It's a good cast, and I feel like I have the tolerance for that cast. So yes, indeed. Looks like the Braxtons are not coming back, so I'm still waiting for Brad Loves Judy. Okay, now I know everybody's been asking, can you cover Love After Lockup? Y'all, I gotta see it. I gotta watch. I see clips of it, but whenever I review a show, like, I gotta find the joy in it. You know what I mean? Because like these Bravo shows, I really watch it for y'all. I really do. And then after that, I'm done with it. I don't go back and watch it. It's my assignment. I completed it. I gave it to y'all. Enjoy. You know what I mean? So, but I do enjoy the community that we're creating over here. And some of y'all have found me through the reviews, right? I will probably say that if the Housewives really looked at all the reviewers, I think they would probably say I'm probably more of one of the tamer reviewers than some others, because there's some others that they'll go to the gutter. Okay, I just keep it of what it is, and if there's something from social media that reflects what we're watching, then we talk about it. But besides that, it is what it is. So with that being said, I'm gonna turn on my camera now because we have done the whole show for an hour. Yes, we have. Yes, indeed. Want to show y'all something here. Coming up here that we are doing a little bit later on tonight. Yes, indeed, we are. So, the theme park industry, I have been feeling a way about it for a good minute now. Everything that's coming out of the theme park industry is so predictable right now. Like, Pokemon was announced that's coming to the U.S. Whoop-de-freaking damn do. We've heard that rumor for years. Then we've heard about, Fast and Furious not Tokyo Drift. That's the movie. Damn, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Shout out to Britney Spears. But there's Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift that's coming to Orlando. But I was like, what can you do with The Simpsons and San Francisco? So I have my pitch. I remember Erica from That Part Place said it needs to be more family-friendly attractions, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to disagree with you there. Although I do believe that Disney is more for kids and families, and I believe that Universal is more for adults, but there should be a little something for everybody. So I think I have some solutions that I think is going to make everybody happy. So Phil said hello there. So I'll see you guys here at 8:30 here in just a little bit. But for right now, we're just chilling out. So if there's any questions that you want to ask me about RHOP within reason, please let me know, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Yolanda, how did I do, beautiful? Did I cover everything? Was I too light? Was I too harsh? Y'all let me know what you're thinking, how you feeling, and how you are moving with this after show review. But yeah, we'll do this live a little bit later on. So 3 shows in one day today. So then tomorrow night we'll do Married to Medicine, of course, at 6 o'clock. And of course, Wednesday you'll get another show, and then off usually on Thursdays, unless there's something in the culture that needs to be talked about. Then I'll go live on tour. Y'all know that's our rule on Thursdays because even God had a day of rest, and then Friday, you guys will get 2 new shows, and so number content over here. Yes, indeed. So. Actually, while I have y'all here, let me post something for y'all real quick, if you don't mind. Let me post something for y'all. Yep, I got some shorts for y'all. I know it's been a long minute since I posted anything new, but yeah, StreamYard has changed their shorts portfolio where you can only get so many shorts based on your account. So I gotta be able to make sure that it is I gotta make sure that it is feasible that I do the some of the best content of the month. So yeah. So yep, I am posting all those shorts right now. Hang on. And yep. Okay, and last short. All right, y'all enjoy those shorts rather. Yes, indeed. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Listen, can y'all believe it? We've been live streaming for like 3 years together. Can y'all believe that? All the stuff we've covered in 3 years, my Lord. Sometimes I really do wonder how I do it day after day. I'm like, how in the hell can all this happen in a day? I think y'all remember the early days. I used to do 4 destinations, 5 destinations. But now our average is about 7 destinations. And plus, just a pro tip, the shorts that you see are just from the live you watched. So if you ever are missing out on anything of the main show, just go over to the shorts for all the highlights. Like I said, my personality is good for uploads. It's good for shorts. It's good for live streams. I would say I'm more of a content creator, not a streamer, because I actually create, like, this is creating content. This ain't streaming. The thing I'm going to do tonight. You know what I mean? I mean, if people look at me as a streamer, okay, cool. But I would like to think that the quality of the work I do is a lot bigger, better, and bolder than just doing what Casanat does. Nothing wrong with what Casanat does, but we do 2 different things, okay? But yes, indeed, there. So yeah, we'll chill out here for a little bit, probably till maybe 1:12. Just kind of rest a little bit. But yes, indeed. So. So yes, indeed. We are just chillaxing, everybody. Yes, indeed. So, man. So, yep. Like I said, hopefully you guys are staying warm wherever you are in the world, because we are live around the world. Yes, we are. So hopefully you guys are good there. And if it's too warm, hopefully you're staying cool. So, yep. Man, like I said, I'm really excited for this live tonight, 30, because I'm going to start off with a jump off point, but it won't be the main point. It'll get us to where we need to be with San Francisco and in Simpsons Land, right? So, like I said, anytime I do a deep dive live or I do a big pitch like this, just know it's a brain diction. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Okay. It's just what I would do if I was in power. Which most of my ideas that I've pitched on YouTube, I would say about 8 out of 10 of them are really good. Now, I will say I've never lost a deep dive live. And I say all my deep dive lives and pitches are 10s out of 10s because they're always based in reality. So I will definitely say that. So yes, indeed. So yeah. Yes, indeed. So yeah, we're gonna be chilling out here for 2 more minutes, and then I'll give y'all the daily motivator. Then we'll head on out of here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So. By the way, if anybody needs that number there, that is 1-800. Oh, damn it. I should have separated that. Give me a moment, y'all. Y'all know that's just the broadcaster. Give me a moment. One momento, please. Thank you. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better for me. Okay. There is the number there. 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. That's 1-800-662-4357. That's 1-800-662-4357. And that is a line that is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Okay, so that is available to us as people, right? Definitely use your resources for sure. All right, let's get to the daily motivator and then head on out of here. I think this was a great after show for sure. A very reflective after show for sure. Oh man, okay, I'm gonna have to read this one on camera because as I'm saying this to y'all, I will probably be saying this to myself as well. So yes. All right, let's see. Here we go. Come on, camera. Put this here. There we go. Hello. There I am there. All right, here we go. A child educated only at school is an uneducated child. I think I get what they're trying to say, George Santiana. All right, y'all, it's time for the day motivator for Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Say yes. Say yes to the possibilities. Say yes to the challenges when it makes sense. When it makes sense, when it enables you to bring more value to life. Say yes when it aligns with what's important to you. Say yes. Say yes to the reality of what is, to the lessons and legacies of what has been. Though the world is not perfect, rather say yes to the positive opportunities it presents. Certainly there are many situations in which saying yes is not the appropriate response, but don't let that fact dissuade you from ever responding in the affirmative. Plenty of goodness has come into your life because you were able to say yes at the right moments. Those moments continue to arrive, so be ready to make the most of them. Go to the trouble, make the commitment, because your life and all of existence are worth it. Look for the best times to do so and say yes, Ralph Morrison. You know, it's funny. Sunday night, I did a little something. There was a Zoom that I was a part of, and it was people, trying to look for love and everything. And there was not one, but two people actually thought it was something, right? And at first, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna really go to this Zoom call. I think we all got responsibilities. Well, I'll put it like this: we all have responsibilities, and then we have things that we would like to do, but just should I really do this? Is this gonna really be good for me? Do I really want to go fuck about it? And so it was one of those things. But the first thing I will tell you about say yes is you don't have to say yes to everything. But if you never say yes to anything, you may miss out on something. Oh, clock that tea. 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 You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't. But if you say no to anything, right? If you say no to everything, you may miss out on something. So you don't have to say yes to everything. But if you don't say yes to some things, rather, right, you may miss out on things that are really important or that could become important, right? So that's the first thing I will tell you there. Second thing I will tell you is certainly there are many situations in which saying yes is not the appropriate response, but don't let that fact dissuade you from ever responding in the affirmative. Never negotiate your peace for anybody. I mean, we saw that with Karen Huger last night. And in that interview, that she is saying yes to having a new chapter for herself. Now, there are some people that are going to be like, my Lord Jesus, you deserve a new chapter. Once again, he or she who has not sinned cast the first stone. If you have a whole chapter in being stupid, somebody have a whole chapter in being intelligent. Okay? All right, moving on. That's the second thing I'll tell y'all. And finally, the third thing I'll tell you is go through the trouble, make the commitment, because your life and all of existence are worth it. Now, when it comes to go through the trouble, I got to push back on that, Ralph Morrison. I don't believe we got to go through the trouble for everything in life. Some stuff we could just dead it, be cool about it, and move on. We ain't got to go through pain, suffering, and strife if we don't have to. But I think what he means is if it really does bring you joy, figure out the best way for you to figure out a roadmap to get to that yes, right? But even after you go through all that trouble, if you still say no, it's not the end of your life, right? Sometimes we have been saved, right, by saying no to things. And sometimes we have been said no to, that's been God's protection, okay? So, yes, indeed, there. Well, y'all, that is about it for me. Like I said, I love you. I value, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, live in 72 minutes, I'll be here talking about San Francisco and Springfield, USA for Universal Orlando Resort. So join me there. We're going to have a good time. If not, if this is your final tour for the evening, the morning, afternoon, good evening. to you. With that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you will always want a blessing and trust. You may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Well, it's one thing to call yourself. It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me. And hopefully by spending time together, rise and break together. And always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or you're able to see that even in your older years, you can still struggle. But just because you struggle don't mean you can't overcome. Make sure the replay is not just for if you watch it, not just for if you listen to it, but if you want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you all. Always remember, or see love you gotta give, or see love you gotta give, or see love you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you overcome, wherever successes you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one else is proud. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, I don't know what's gonna happen at this reunion. We saw the preview. But let's all remember that whatever we're going to say, we're able to live our lives privately. They live theirs publicly, but that does not mean they don't deserve love, grace, and space. But it's got to be both ways. So if we got to be responsible for what we do in private, for our family and friends, we got to hold the same energy publicly, right? So, all right, y'all. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody. I'll see you guys here at 8:30. I'm a little bit later on tonight, but if not, one love, much love, all love. Good night, everybody.
I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken-ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money and my mom is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.